And hello everybody, welcome back to RFC News. I hope you are all well. Guys, a bit of news for you today. Of course, we are coming into May now, and it's going to be that lead up, of course, to the summer transfer window where deals are kind of getting done in terms of players that are current players. They're going to be extending their contracts at the football club. Then, of course, preparations are going to begin ahead of the summer transfer window. For Rangers, we're usually out of the title race by now, so we're always looking towards the end of next season. But there's 4 games left for Rangers, albeit we did kind of mess up our chances a little bit against Motherwell. We are still within this title race, and our full focus, of course, will be on trying to win that league title, and that could play a huge part in what happens going into next season, especially with the prize money, Champions League, etc., etc. The difference between first and third, well, that could be absolutely massive. Now, we've also got a bit of news. Whilst the main focus, of course, is on trying to win this title, there is the club working behind the scenes to try and secure players that they rate very, very highly. Now, this one's very interesting. I don't usually talk about sort of young players. However, this one is interesting and caught my attention was because of the fact that there was a lot of English interest. And essentially, Rangers have managed to fend off that sort of Premier League interest and secure the player. Now, we've seen a lot over the last couple of years, especially if I'm looking south of the border. We've lost a lot due to Brexit, really, actually, with the new laws and stuff. But we've seen a lot of, Premier League clubs looking to try and bolster their academy by shopping in Scotland. You know, you've seen, Calvin Ramsey, Aberdeen, who went down to Liverpool. You've seen it with Ben Doak at Celtic. And you've seen a lot of our Rangers ones. Was a young boy, Rory Wilson, who went to Aston Villa. So you've seen a lot of them before they even kick a ball for Rangers. They're already getting picked and taken away. So it's important for us as a football club, especially financially as well, and to try and give these young players a chance, it's important that we do acquire the signatures of the ones that we want to keep around. And that is what we've certainly done today. As inside Rangers sources have confirmed that Rangers have seen off interest from clubs in England to secure the signing of Luca Rankin. Now, they understand that Rankin will follow Kyle Glasgow and Ashton Scally in committing his future to the club. So this is pretty damn good to see because, as I mentioned just a moment ago, it's always a case that we kind of lose our young prospects to the Premier League and to these other academies. So it's good to see that the young players are choosing Rangers to go on and develop themselves and are choosing Rangers for the long term. Kyle Glasgow is especially excited about. But this young player, of course, is the son of Ayr United boss, John. John Rankin. So, it's an interesting one, but that looks like it's a deal done. That should be officially announced by the club very, very soon. But again, it's some positive stuff going into the summer. A lot of young boys are choosing Rangers to develop at rather than going down and getting lost in these Premier League academies. Let me know your thoughts on this down there in the comments.
In other news, Rangers are preparing to close the curtain on one of the most defining individual eras in their modern history, with captain James Tavernier set to depart Ibrox at the end of the season. After nearly a decade at the club, the right-back's exit signals not just the end of a playing chapter, but the conclusion of a leadership tenure that has been central to both the club's resurgence and its ongoing identity in the post-relegation era. The announcement, confirmed ahead of the weekend's fixtures, brings clarity to what has increasingly felt like an inevitable transition. Since arriving in 2015, Tavernier has been ever present through the highs and lows, most notably helping guide Rangers back to the top flight in 2016, and later captaining the side during one of its most successful modern spells. Under Steven Gerrard, he evolved into far more than a conventional fullback, becoming a talismanic figure in a team that clinched the Scottish Premiership title in 2021 and surged to the Europa League final just a year later. Yet for all his individual consistency and attacking output, Tavernier's legacy has remained a subject of debate. 3 trophies during his captaincy is a modest return by Rangers' historical standards, and that statistic has often shaped the discourse around his place in the club's hierarchy of greats. For some, his leadership during a rebuilding era carries immense weight. For others, silverware remains the ultimate benchmark. That divide has followed him throughout his time in Glasgow, amplified by the intense scrutiny that comes with representing a club of such magnitude. What is beyond dispute, however, is his durability, professionalism, and influence. Tavernier has been a near constant in the starting 11 for years, delivering goals, assists, and leadership in equal measure. His ability to impact games from right back, particularly through set pieces, has made him one of the most statistically productive defenders in British football over the past decade. Now, as his Rangers chapter draws to a close, attention turns to what comes next. Interest from England has quickly gathered momentum, with Wolverhampton Wanderers reportedly among the clubs monitoring his situation. Tottenham have also been linked, adding intrigue to a developing transfer picture that could see Tavernier return to English football after nearly 10 years north of the border. Wolves, in particular, present an interesting proposition. Their relegation has already been confirmed following a deeply disappointing campaign spent entirely in the bottom three. With a rebuild now unavoidable, the club is expected to target experienced figures capable of stabilizing the squad and driving a promotion push. Tavernier, despite being 34, fits that profile. His experience at both domestic and European levels, combined with his leadership qualities, could prove invaluable in a championship environment that demands resilience as much as quality. There is also a recent history of business between the two clubs, with players such as Fabio Silva and Nasser Giga making temporary moves to Ibrox. That existing relationship could yet play a role in facilitating discussions, particularly as Wolves look to reshape their squad with players who bring both reliability and a winning mentality. For Tottenham, their reported interest adds a different dimension. Despite their own struggles near the bottom end of the Premier League table, the appeal of top-flight football remains significant. Whether Tavernier is viewed as a squad option or a short-term solution, his experience and technical quality could offer depth and leadership in a dressing room searching for stability. From a footballing perspective, Tavernier's next move will likely hinge on balancing ambition with practicality. While he may no longer be at the peak of his physical powers, his technical strengths, especially from dead ball situations, remain sharp. In a demanding league like the Championship, those attributes can often be decisive across a long, grueling season. Back in Glasgow, the focus will soon shift to life after Tavernier. Replacing a player of his consistency and influence will not be straightforward, particularly given how integral he has been both on and off the pitch. His departure leaves a leadership void as much as a positional one, and how Rangers address that will be crucial heading into a new era. For supporters, emotions are likely to be mixed. There will be appreciation for his service, recognition of his role in restoring pride and competitiveness, and perhaps lingering debate about what might have been. But above all, there will be respect for a player who committed nearly a decade of his career to the club during one of its most transformative periods. But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. We post all the latest Rangers news every single day, so join our fast growing community so you never miss out. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.